Greetings. Welcome to the day, Odin's day, and just receiving a message to share, a thought to explore together, an idea, creative philosophy revolving around history. I feel that I know that I think that past, present, and future all exist in this moment, and when the lens of presence is pointed in a particular direction, then that becomes a source of receiving information. And this can be a combination of things that are learned, things that are thought, things that are experienced, things that we resonate with, and whatever the subject or the thought, you can essentially widen the river and the information coming through. So with doing this, I was pondering upon the particular point in history that we refer to as BC and AD, and before I begin, know that I know nothing, and that I'm just sharing ideas and sharing thoughts. And this is a subject that I am curious about. I have my own thoughts and thinking about them, but my identity is not attached to such ideas. I am simply documenting or recording this flow of consciousness, this stream of energy, with the intention to open up the river and the stream so that it is less about a particular topic of curiosity and more about a flowing river, an increasing of energy to better understand myself and our origins as a collective and life as a whole. I am most curious. So my interest in this morning's meditations is around the concept of BC and AD. And we have given names to these as before Christ and after death. I think that these labels are nonsense, and that there is a time period between these two dates in time that is in a way disregarded. And the BC, I think, would be more like before Constantine, or before Christianity, or such phenomenon. If you are unfamiliar with Constantine, he was an emperor of this era, and he was the first conqueror to unite the East and the West peacefully. Now, there has been a battle waged between the East and the West, the left and the right, love and fear, black and white, good versus evil, up and down, yin and yang, push and pull, forever. This is an expression of reality. It is a fundamental, and we get caught up in picking sides of this battle. Now, back to the point. BC and AD. Now, before Christianity, before the Bible, Christians existed. And before they were all put into a group together, they were quite solitary belief systems, in a sense that it was someone's personal quest or personal journey to understand themselves and God and life personally. It was a personal journey, it was subjective, it was viewing yourself and the life around you from a point of, you could say, joy, in a sense, to put a word to it. You could call this Krishna consciousness. You could call it Christ consciousness. Whatever label you want to put it, it is the quest of fulfilling what brings most joy to your life and what brings you most passion. For some people, they found God and they found happiness in the cultivation of food, of growing food, of cooking food, of whatever. Some found it in art, in music, in philosophy, in divination, looking to the stars, looking to the animals, to nature, looking to relationships and connections. There is no limit to where you can find truth. Truth can be found everywhere and anywhere. So this quest of Gnosticism, of mysticism, of seeing the all in the one and the one in the all, has always been a quest of humanity. It existed before religion. It existed before texts. It existed before writing, before language. It has and always will be our quest for truth, our quest for understanding, our quest of presence, of here, of now. So, there were particular people in this era, in the Mesopotamia region, that had excelled on such a quest, on such endeavors, that they were seen as symbols of hope and would be guides and channels for those who were seeking this path, who were seeking the path of truth, to better understand life as a whole, however you put it. So these figures were brought to Constantine, and they had various texts and channels and scriptures from time immemorial, right? That this is beyond dating, but people would, whether consciously or unconsciously, channel Christ consciousness. And some of these were recorded and some of these were not recorded. Now, the people who maybe have been known to channel, could channel at will, whatever, they were brought before Constantine, and there would have been hundreds. See, details do not matter in this particular story. There would have been hundreds brought together, and Constantine said, "You must agree upon one story." So there would have been debates and arguments, and this is when particular scriptures were put into a text, and then it was made essentially a law that this is the faith, this is the religion, we must all follow this. And it was, to my understanding, that Constantine ordered that all the scripts that were left out of the Bible, see, this text was used to control the masses, that religion was used to bring everyone under one banner, and it was in the disguise of love, but it was fear. It was fear driven in a sense. It's hard to know exactly, but back to the point. All the texts and writings and scriptures that were disregarded or perhaps held a truth beyond what Constantine had wanted, because he had an agenda, he had a reason for this, that these people may have been subjugated or threatened into the cultivation of what we call Christianity, or what we call the Bible in essence. The word itself is Bai is dual, and Baal is half of the balance. It's almost like the shadow side of the balance. So you've got dual shadow, whatever. It's to be explored. Constantine ordered that these texts and these scriptures be destroyed. There was his priest thought that this was blasphemy, and of course he would not. He would express that he would follow orders, but he would not destroy these texts. They were too valuable. And so he put them in a chest, in a case, and ordered or hired some people to protect them with their life. Now, this would be later known as the chalice, or the vessel of knowledge, of truth, and those that guarded this wealth of knowledge or truth would become the Templars. So this leads into another branch of history, but this is, for my current limited understanding, I welcome knowledge, I welcome truth, I welcome information from a point of curiosity. I welcome that my current perspective be broadened and heightened, and that I see clearer and am not attached to information that's coming through. So this was set about. So this was the beginning of what we call the Bible, limited texts, a fragment of wealth and knowledge. And then during this time, it started the oppression of it, that since the creation and the cultivation of the Bible, any other such scripts and texts are disregarded, and there is always truth being unfolded. There is always wisdom being channeled. There is always Christ consciousness being witnessed and expressed from each and every moment, from anywhere in the world. There is nothing that limits this. There is no boundaries for this. It is a natural expression, and the term Christ may be triggering for us, for me, for you. So use a different word that you do not attach so much emotion to. You could use enlightened, you could use in flow, in surrender, in one, in unity with the universe, in alignment, in enlightenment, whatever term you want to use it. Okay? It does not matter. Words do carry vibrations and frequencies, but to understand the voice and vibration and frequencies, we have to look beyond our attachment to the meaning of the word. A word is a name we give something. The something exists without the word. The word does not define the thing. It is a way for us to talk about a thing and know that we are talking about the same thing. The word and names of things are not the things and names itself. The earth is not called the earth, but we call it the earth. Carrying on. Also, at this particular time we call BC and AD, this particular time period is also the beginning of what is known as today's astrology as tropical astrology. Now, this tropical astrology is that a particular point in time, some 2000 years ago, they stopped watching the stars and they paused. They paused the constellations. They essentially took a photo of it. They took recordings of a particular time, and then they based it off this particular time. So astrology these days is of modern astrology is not looking at the stars. Real astrology, true astrology, is the movement, watching the movement of the stars. This can be seen in Vedic astrology or what is known as sidereal or sidereal astrology. Now, the constellations shift 1 degree every 72 years, roughly. So, over a 2000-year period, there has been a 30-degree shift in the constellations. Now, we are in a vortex. Everything follows this pattern from our DNA, from plant life. Everything follows a ratio of a sense of sine wave, of a vortex, of Fibonacci, whatever you want to call it. If you look at, say, you look at our DNA strand from a top point of view, so you're not looking at side on. If you looked at side on, you would see the twisting or the two sine waves going up and down. But if you looked front on, as if it was coming towards you, you would see a circle. So with this constellation changing every 1 degree every 72 years, there's a sense of a wobble. And if you look to the lunar year or the Chinese New Year, that it wobbles between December and February or something like that. I'm not too sure on specifics, but there is a wobble. It doesn't just continually go around, it wobbles. It jiggles, it dances. The earth, this planet, has a wobble. There is a sense of a pendulum swinging from one side to the other, and then this can be measured. And 30 degrees is a significant amount. So, over this 2000 or so time period, there has been 30 degrees shift in the constellations. Now, this could have gone 15 degrees in either way, would still make up a 30-degree differential. But back to the point is that in this time period, they said it's too difficult to read the stars or whatever story they'll spin. And they said Aries will be spring, because all this philosophy is to do with northern hemisphere. So they said Aries will be the first, right? It's named the first, and spring is being the start of the year or whatever. The bringing of summer is always in Aries. Now this isn't true, okay? This is just simply not true. That the uh, archetypes and the astrological forms and names they're not bound by the seasons. The seasons change, and they are in various seasons. Now they might be limited in a sense that the height of winter may only ever be in Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. This may be true, and that spring may only ever be Pisces, Aries, and Taurus, and summer might only ever be Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Aquarius, or Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, and whatever it is, you know what I mean. It may have these defining factors involved, but back to the point that just wanting to include that there is 13 moons in a year, and that there was originally 13 gods of Olympus, and that there surely was 13 constellations that we divined, and that 13 has been a factor of our environment, of our observed reality. There was Christ and the 12 disciples, the number 13, 13 moons. If we have 13 months, then there's 28 days in each month. And the first always being a Monday, and the 28th always being a Sunday. This seems logical. On a turtle's back, it has 13 segments in the middle and 28 segments on the outside. Everything is an expression of the same thing. We are all nature expressing itself in a variety of ways. So this also was a phenomenon that occurred in the same time period of BC and AD. So we have the cultivation of doctrine, of a strict philosophy, which is a crime on nature, on natural philosophy, on creative philosophy of expression of the all and the one, to take a photo of one moment and say that all of life can be understood within this one photo is hypocrisy. It is utter nonsense. And to understand that the majority of people would rather be told how to think and what to do rather than embody the confidence to think and act for themselves. It is easier to follow orders and be part of a group than it is to make decisions for yourself and take responsibility for your life. See, all those who are on the pursuit for truth are on the pursuit of confidence. They go together, and it takes courage to see life as it is. It's not to be just because you have one thought or idea that capsulates a particular moment. That thought or idea or feeling cannot be used as a lens to describe all of life. Perhaps if you resonated at a particular frequency or vibration, or you tuned your lens to a point that it resonates with the all and the one, and that there is no separation, there is no sense of duality, then perhaps yes. And perhaps this is what the journey is all about. Anyway, back to the point, not that there was a point to begin with. It's just an opening of a river of receiving information, of expressing ideas and thoughts. That these two ideas that I wanted to draw attention to, you may find these particular topics interesting. The beginning of doctrine and the Bible, how religion was used as a tool to unite the East and the West without war. Wars followed, but in this particular time, Constantine, and then you've got the Holy Grail. I called it the chalice before, but it's the Holy Grail. Came from this time period, and also tropical astrology. So these topics I want to highlight, and I think that the quest, or to better understand a brief history of where we are and why society is the way it is, and how that if we can expand our point of view and widen our lens and distance ourselves from a particular point in time that we call 2024, if you can see that it's all now, it's an extended now, and that it has taken a long time and process for current events to be as they are. Yes, they are highlighted and they are brought attention because we are in this vessel at this particular time. It does not mean that life didn't exist outside of this particular body and this particular time, but it is highlighted just as when we are feeling a great sense of emotion, that nothing exists except for that emotion. If you are feeling tremendous joy, in those moments you forget sadness exists, and vice versa. When you are in such grief and apathy and depression, you forget joy exists. So these ideas or these concepts like time become hyper focused and hyper analyzed, and we can just zoom out, we can just expand our lens a bit and take it beyond the individual, beyond the collective in a sense, and just see things with a broader perspective to create a deeper sense of curiosity, a deeper sense of longing for truth, but not attaching identity to it. It is a mere topic of enjoyment. It is philosophy to talk of such things. It is not meant to define who I am or who we are as individual expressions of life. That is subjective and that is personal. That is up to you. That is up to me. And these particular thoughts of interest, I find interesting. I find curious. I would like to know more. If you also find these topics curious and interesting, and if you have anything to share that is on the similar wavelength, or that you feel that I would be interested to open a channel to, then please reach out, please comment or whatever, reach out to me. Respond in a video, welcome the channel, welcome the opportunity to learn how to speak, welcome the opportunity to learn how to channel. And it is a learning process, it is a figuring out, it is part of the journey. and embody that, take confidence in that, be empowered by that thought and by that notion. And I would like to finish with the affirmations that are coming through today, and they are: it is not about me, but it is for me. Be for me, before me. Be for me, before me. It's not about me, but it is for me. And another one that came through during this morning's meditations and was quite powerful in a sense, and I speak directly to my heart when I say this. I receive your grace, and I give this moment to you. I receive your grace. I give my life to you. I receive your grace. I give my life to you. And I feel my heart is on fire, and I feel so grounded in this moment, and it is very powerful. And if visualization is your thing, see, for me, affirmations are quite powerful. For others, visualization is powerful. Both are tools. Use what tool benefits you. They're just tools. So another tool is visualization. So visualize with you're standing upon the earth, you're standing on the ground. You can do this as well. You're standing on the ground, your left hand is reaching for the earth, you're holding hands with the earth, and your right hand is reaching for the sky, and you are between. You are the bridge, you are the connection between the earth realm, the mother Gaia, the physical, the dense aspect of reality, and the light aspect, and between the sun and between the sky. So your left hand is grounded in density, and your right hand is clasping on to the heavens, and we are between. We are in the middle earth, the middle realm, and that this notion of your left hand reaching down and grabbing, you can see this as an extension of your respiratory system, that the diaphragm is your left hand receiving the energy of this dense physical experience, and that your right hand is the upper part of the respiratory system, of the throat, of the heart. They're both extensions of the heart. The heart is a muscle that coils and retracts and runs this length within us. So you can see the right hand being this sense of ether. So we've got the left in the physical and the right in the ether, in the heavens. So I receive grace, and I give my life to you. I give my life to presence. I give my life to center, to my heart. I give my life to spirit. I give my life to God, to energy, to source, to Christ, to presence, to chi, to kundalini, whatever you resonate with. You choose this. I choose now. I choose presence. I choose grace, and I choose my heart. My heart is my guide, and my heart sets me free. So thank you. Thank you for taking the time. Please, I I am fascinated with most aspects of life. I find everything interesting and everything curious, and I'm passionate about many things. Many things get me excited, and I'm excited for today, and I'm ready to get in my body. I've been up for hours meditating. I don't fall asleep anymore. If I wake up and I don't fall back to sleep immediately, I just get up and start meditating. And I'm excited today. I've got some more channeling coming through. Want to be speaking about original sounds, sounds of creation. We're going to be looking at Sanskrit and language, and um, I'll do these after I've done my morning practice and cultivated some energy. And I'm excited to share these with you. And I'm excited for today. And I hope you have the best day. I hope you have the absolute best day ever. I love you and thank you.